started on this. I'm going to start off having a look at what I'm looking at in terms of just some of the indexes. Obviously we've had like this really big move to the upside on the British pound, and that's been kind of flying since the 10th of January now. Minor pullbacks, and we can see that here, obviously on against the dollar. 10th of January, we can see that this has been moving to the upside. I think managed to literally catch the start of this after this minor downtrend. But what we're looking at here is obviously a really big impulsive move to the upside on the 4 hour, on the daily. It's been going on for quite some time, but we have to come down and grab some liquidity from somewhere. Now really the main target that we're going to be looking at are going to be around this area. What I'm expecting from the pound is that we essentially are going to create a head and shoulders here. Now it could happen here where we kind of come down, we tap into liquidity, we come back up, and then we come down here and we test this level and we take out this liquidity before we get a reversal, or we could come all the way down to here. So if we look at the British pound currency, we can kind of see that we're definitely due to come down and test this level, which is from the 4th of March. Now there's two areas of confluence here which we're looking at, and that is obviously the trend line, and also that's going to be this level here. So if we break this uptrend, then we're going to be looking to move to the downside. Do I see it happening? I'm not entirely sure. It's really all going to depend on the fundamentals to whether or not we do break below. Growth was weak on the pound last week, so we've kind of already started to see this correction, which is kind of leading me to where we're at on the New Zealand dollar. Now we've already come back down and we've already retested this level, and we did kind of miss like a really lovely position here. I was waiting for a pullback to this level, but sellers just really wanted this. Now I'm no longer interested in this for the moment, but I do believe that we're going to have some strength. We're going to have a pull up somewhere, and I think what we'll probably end up doing is creating like a head and shoulders pattern. I could be wrong. We could just break down and then we could come up, and then we're going to look to come down and we're going to look to test this level here. And if we do that, which realistically I think we've got to, then we'll just basically wait for price to come back up. If price continues to push down, we'll wait for price to come back up, and we'll look to get into a short around this level here to be able to wipe out that area. And this could happen like relatively soon as well. We're just gonna have to see how price reacts on this one. But I'm definitely expecting more downside. So I'm expecting a lot of downside from Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar. Definitely expecting downside from Great British Pound, Canadian dollar, and I'm looking to get into one of these positions relatively imminently. I've kind of been waiting, like I think we managed to get an entrance like here, and I ended up leaving the trade, I think about here, and then it just continued to run to the upside. So I'm definitely expecting this. We've already had the break. We've already had this break here. I'm definitely expecting a position on this relatively imminently. And as I say, I think we're just going to wipe out this market structure here, and then we'll see how price reacts and see if we're able to get into another position. We should see a correction around that. Now we're getting quite a lot of confluence on the Canadian dollar. So we can see that we've broken this uptrend. We can see that we've got this kind of angled head and shoulders here. Potentially, you know, also a double top, and we're now looking to kind of retest this level and this neckline now that we've closed below it on the 4 hour. So as I say, you want to, when you're kind of looking to trade these pairs, you want to have a bit of confluence across all of them, and we've definitely got this on EURCAD as well. This is going to be the first level. That's going to be the first time that we look to wipe out an area of liquidity. So that's that's definitely the first take profit target. Need a really good strong break and retest. That's going to be the second take profit target, and then that's when we look to see how the market's reacting after that market structure here. So that's going to be that's really like these two levels, the next areas of market structure that we're going to be looking to take out. So whilst we're on the Canadian dollar, we'll stay on. We'll also have a look at USDCAD as well. Now, I am definitely interested in trading this. Now I think we've kind of had this little break. It's not really like massively strong, like this isn't really a massively strong trend, in my opinion. I feel like what we're going to do is we're going to get a correction up here, and then we're going to move to the downside. This is really the entry. This is the strongest entry here. We want to see a break below this level, and then we should definitely at least see us getting, you know, taken out this level. And then this level is going to be the next take profit target, and then we kind of look to go all the way down. But the reason that I think that, you know, as I say, this level is the most important, because if we kind of pull back here, we can see that's where a lot of like the buyers are interested. That's a lot where the level the buyers are interested. So it can be worth opening like 2% of the position, or you close 50% of the position, or 75% of the position, put the other bit to break even, or trail it to like a or -3 or +3R or +4R or something along those lines, and then you let the rest run. But as I say, if price comes up here, I'm going to take the entry. If price breaks below this level, I'm definitely going to take the entry there. And then I'm going to look to kind of start getting out of the market around this area, because, as I say, this is where a lot of the buyers are interested. Now we've had this double top here, and we've got this kind of M shape forming. We've definitely got like this higher time frame double top forming, and you know, if we kind of manage to break below that and then wipe out this area of liquidity, what will probably happen is we'll come back up, we'll retest it, and then we'll move to the downside. So, as I say, with Great British Pound CAD and EURCAD and stuff like that, I think it's a little bit more straightforward. With USDCAD, it's not as straightforward simply because of the fundamentals. Obviously, Trump is absolutely hammering the Canadian dollar with tariffs at the moment. So are other countries. So China's got involved. When we're looking at this pair in particular, it's going to be, I think, more difficult to trade. And I think, like, for example, if I manage to get in at this level and I get stopped out, I will just give up on it up until this, and then I'll look to get in there. I'll look to get in there for like a 6R, which will put me at +4R on the pair. Because it's really, really choppy. The price action is really quite choppy at the moment. I mean, we can just see this here. Even like looking at this the other day, I don't think like this personally, wasn't a bad trade. That was me just following my plan. I was in profit. We came up, we retested the level exactly as expected, and then price just couldn't seem to break this. Obviously, I had this, like, at the time I thought that this was just conflict. I thought that this was a correction here. I hadn't actually looked that we kind of looked further back, that we'd already started forming this trend. Also, one of the other things to take into account as well is that, like, so buyers will often find prices, or buyers will often find like different angles and, you know, different levels where they're happy to buy, and we can kind of see here that we've started getting like this little correction, that we could have this area. I won't take that into account just yet because I don't plan on being in the trade for all that long, but yeah, you know, other things to take into account definitely, especially with this choppiness. When you've got price action, like, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to trade the reversal, because what goes up like so quickly has to come down quicker. You know, and find a level where buyers are happy before it kind of continues its run, which, you know, could be, there's so many different levels here, but realistically we're probably going to be looking at this level here, especially considering there's not really been a correction. There's been a very, very minor break and retest of it. It's not come down as far as it should, and then, you know, you kind of have to just continue trading the plan and flip your bias up until, you know, when you get to this point. So when you see the kind of break, the price come down to this area, and then you kind of see the break of the trend line, then you get in, and then we've got different areas where we can look to take profit. It's one of the reasons I actually prefer selling to buying, because you know where your take profits are. You know, when you're buying, it could, like, the possibilities are endless, and I really don't like that. I like to have a target and know exactly where price is going to go. So yeah, this is going to be a good one. Really, I love just trading Great British Pound, Canadian dollar, and the euro and Canadian dollar. Anyway, the price action is always really nice, and it's really, like, quite respectful of the strategy. So yeah, obviously we've looked at the pound and the pound against the New Zealand dollar. We've looked at euro, Canadian dollar, and also USDCAD as well. And what we'll do now is move on to Euro Australian dollar. So obviously very, very similar. We've got some key levels now. Now we've finally broken out of this structure. Price is going to want to come down, and it's going to probably want to retest like this at this level here, and probably around that level there, where, like, that liquidity's lying at least. So as I say, it's really just the same on this. Like, we've got a really, really strong uptrend. We've got clearly a head and shoulders here. We've got two different take profit levels. So this is going to be where price comes and tests first. Could end up, like, grabbing liquidity. I mean, don't get me wrong, what could also happen is, because we've got kind of two different, although price couldn't, we've got two different levels. Price did actually try to break above that, but clearly couldn't do that. So now what we're kind of waiting for is definitely another shift in the market structure, and it's going to come down and retest, grab this area of liquidity first, and then we're going to be looking to grab this liquidity here. But I just feel like we've got to come down on this. Like, it's been too bullish. We're definitely due a lovely correction on it. We're definitely due testing this level here. As I say, we've not really had it properly as of yet. Like, we had a small break above it. I just wouldn't really class that. You know, I want to see, like, a big move up and a big move down for a retest. I don't want to see it just kind of hovering above it, especially on the 4 hour, because what you've got to take into account is when you're trading on the higher time frames, you need, like, a really, really strong break. So for example, this has been like this is more a daily key level. Like, you can see here that price comes up, it taps it. This really is the level here, like where the candle bodies are. This is just liquidity. This is where it can't break above that level. And what you want to see now is you want to see price come down and tap that and then move to the upside, but it is what it is. You know, so definitely waiting on that. USDCHF, we'll talk a little bit more about USD. So this is massively corrective. This has been taking place all week. We've not really seen any movement from it. Same with Great British Pound USD, which we briefly looked at earlier. So we've seen that this is like, you know, since the 7th, we've kind of just been working in this range, got lovely head and shoulders, but this has just been really, really choppy. There's not really been any point in taking any positions on it. And it's been for a lot of the market, really, apart from on Friday when we didn't have any news, or we had very, very low impact news. It's just been really, really choppy, very, very corrective. And you know, price hasn't, it's just not really done much, which is why I didn't trade last week. But you know, the same here on USDCHF. Now we're seeing like this massive correction, and what we'll probably see is this, like, this does just move now to the upside, and then we're looking for a break. We're also looking for price to test this market structure, which it kind of has, but I think we could continue to move up. We'll have a look at the Dixie in a minute, which is why there's some confliction in what I'm thinking here. So obviously we've got this move, this like really, really like just corrective move after this impulsive move to the downside. So once this kind of breaks, and I'm on about properly breaks, not like this kind of like, you know, this is just from swaps anyway, but not like these liquidity grabs and stuff like that. Once this actually breaks, then I'll be really interested in getting in this trade, and I think we're going to go down like quite far with it, but I'm not going to target too far down. I'm just going to target probably this area of liquidity here, see if I can hold it for that long if it's a nice and big position, because then I think we're going to buy and go up. We're still definitely in a downtrend. We've got like also as well, if you have a look here, this really, really nice daily kind of head and shoulders appearing. So when we kind of break down, this is going to be really good for shorts for quite some time, I think, probably until we get down here when it's going to get choppy again. So I'm just going to look to milk this for as much as I possibly can, and this kind of just leads me to the last point, which is this is on the daily. We can see here that we've obviously had this really big move to the upside, and very, very well timed with the dollar getting weaker. The reason for that is because people generally tend to move the money out of that currency and move it into safe havens like the Swiss franc. And now we've just got this really nice corrective move where, you know, we're just kind of moving down. There's no downtrend, there's nothing confirmed, and we're just, so hopefully we get some nice trades, and this will lead us onto a good trade on Great British Pound, CHF. We'll have a look at the CHFs actually quickly. So yeah, Australian dollar CHF, yet again just a very weak upward channel. Price does generally tend to move up quite weak, and it moves down a lot quicker on these pairs. Same with New Zealand dollar CHF. Moving, it's kind of broken out of it a little bit more, which is why I think we're going to see a little bit more strength on New Zealand dollar rather than the Australian dollar. Let's also have a quick look at Great British Pound CHF, and then we've just kind of got this on Great British Pound CHF where it's just, you know, we've had this, we've tapped into this level here. Price is just now, you know, it's moved to the upside, it's just correcting itself, and there was a head and shoulders appeared and break the neckline, so we don't really take the trade unless it's broken the neckline. I don't see the point. If we break this level, then I'll be interested in just, if we break this level here, I'll be interested in getting in a short position for it. It's a hard pair to trade this. It's very, very choppy. You have to hold for a little while. See, the strategy doesn't always work on it. But yeah, if we do, then I'll just look to target this level. If we do break this level, which is why the alert's set, then I'll definitely be interested in taking a good swing on this, because this will move down quite far. We'll get a really, really big move down on it, because it's been staying at that level for quite some time. You know, kind of moved down to the bottom of the range, I reckon, which is around here. Maybe see it actually. Let's have a look. Because I know that we were, I thought that when we got that trend line break, we were going to see, if we break this level, I thought we were going to see more downside, but yeah, as I say, really, really potential or nice big move here potentially if we break this level, but it's holding really, really strong at the moment. Yeah, 210 pips, that's a nice move, you know what I mean, if you can get into I mean, that's quite a big stop on this. There, you know, nice little 14R or something would be really, really nice on it. Yeah, so final thing to have a look at is Dixie. Already done some analysis on this. It seems like, obviously we had the really big move to the downside, and we can see here that price has just tapped into that area of liquidity, which is the same. You see that same confluence with USDCHF. I definitely think that we've got a correction coming to the upside. I don't know though. As I say, the confluence isn't really telling me too much at the moment. We should see a move to the upside just to retest that level, but it doesn't always happen. Like, you know, if you look here, for example, it just never came up and retested. It just moved down, never comes up and retested, just moved down. And same with this here as well. Same with this here. It just never, you know, never comes up and retests too much. It just moves down if it's going down. So it's going to be interesting to see just what happens here. I'll just continue to kind of trade the plan that I've got in terms of USDCAD and USDCHF. I'm not even sure if I'm going to take Great British Pound USD, to be honest. Not with not with shorts. There's a fucker for shorts. Like, it's always so strong on the way up, and it's just an absolute cunt on the way down. So I'm not entirely sure about it, but yeah, in terms of everything else, that's it. That's the run through. They're the plays. Got any questions? Feel free to message me, and yeah, look forward to a good week next week.